Hey there, folks. This is the Caffeinated Dad with some really good news for Age of Mythology Retold. It looks like there is now a new expansion pass that is available on February 10th, and this is going to unlock another Greek god, a part of the Pantheon. Demeter is going to be the new major god that you can play as. Now, this seems like very similar to Freyr for the Norse, which I honestly love seeing the creativity come out. This is honestly really good. And it's also the first major Greek goddess, by the way, because again, we only have Zeus, Hades, and Poseidon. But similar to that of Freyr, there's 3 distinct minor gods, some more powerful myth units, and fully voiced mythical battle. That honestly just expands the world. I love seeing this kind of stuff. I love to see the growth. I love to see the risk that kind of goes along with it. So let's just go ahead and go over everything that is included in the Demeter God Pack. And Demeter herself is more about like the harvest, renewal, kind of like centered around we'll say nature in of itself. This is kind of like a nature god, we'll say for Greek. But what's really interesting about her is that her myth unit is a harpy, which can pick up enemy units in through the air and send them crashing to the ground, deals a lot of damage that way. And then her god power that comes along as a base is Wither, which essentially seeps across the map, destroys farms, trees, bushes in a single wave. Honestly, this is really good because this can cut off a lot of supplies, especially once you get into the later game where a lot of people are using farms anyway. You just have Wither just go through, rip everything to shreds, and then it's done. Game over. Now, I could also see that being an early, we'll say, target, an early goal that actually cancels out probably a lot of other like god powers. Like if you have Gaia, who's growing the trees, growing the little forest, there you go. Wither just completely like counters that. That's a hard counter to that god power. So that's gonna be really cool. I'm excited because it seems like her focus is more economy, I think is the best way to put it. But yeah, love the idea, love the direction, and I'm very interested, honestly. So, of course, with that, very similar to Freyr, you get 3 new minor gods that go along with it. You get Pan, who's the guardian of the wild, who specializes in battlefield control, Hestia, who's goddess of hospitality, and Persephone, the queen of the underworld, commanding the power of life and death. Pan, as a minor god, seems to be focused more so on the, we'll say, the nature side of things. The power that you get with it is Arcadian Meadow. It increases or creates a peaceful field that stops all attacks from units and buildings caught inside its glow, which could be really useful if you're playing a little bit more aggressively and you use that. I wonder if you could use that on the enemy's town center if you wanted to do like an early aggression or something like that, and you just shut down their town center, which is their main defense. Honestly, I'm really interested in that. I'm not sure how they plan on doing that, but for his myth unit, you are looking at the Lycoen, which apparently is disguised as a villager until it strikes, which honestly, what would be really interesting, especially against like raiding, enemy raids. Like for me, I play a lot of Odin. I like the Norse raiding cavalry. Like you have this Lycoen who's disguised as a villager, and then you send in your raiding cavalry to go and attack, one of their food stores or something like that. And the Lycoen is there, and he just hops out and cancels out that attack and eats up through your cavalry, like very quickly. I'd be really interested in to see those kind of plays. That really opens up a huge dynamic that you'll be able to play, especially in 1v1s. For the heroic age, Demeter gets Hestia, which Hestia seems to be focused more so on a kind of like a defensive and resource-oriented god. But what's really cool is that her god power is communal hearth. Of course, offers a little bit more defenses, resource bonuses, as you can imagine. But then it has the ability to convert enemy units to your side, basically like siphoning some of the enemy's units onto your side. So I'd be really interested to see how that would work. Does it work on myth units? Does it work on heroes? I'd just be curious to see. And like, what's the cooldown on that? I'm not sure. I wonder if it would be very similar to like the trader ability for the Atlanteans, but maybe it's a little bit more random. I'm not sure how that will play out, but that sounds like it'll be really cool. And again, you have a more resource bonus, resource focused heroic god. I like that. Her myth unit is the Hamadryad, which hides in a tree when it's idle and allows for infiltration and scouting. I wonder if it is purely hidden, like it can't be seen by nearby units. And essentially, it's just chilling in a tree, waiting for enemies to come by. Imagine if you were right outside the enemy's base, or you're watching like a passageway to a nearby gold mine. Just imagine how overpowered that would be to just have that just chilling there, waiting and watching, and just offering as more of a scout. I like the design of that. That is really, really cool. Now for the Mythic Age, it looks like there's Persephone, which is the queen of the underworld, and daughter Demeter, and was abducted by Hades and all that stuff. I really like the idea of her mythic power, of her god power, which is the underworld invasion. Revives the last 100 fallen units as iodons under your control at the cost of every town center. This is very much in mindset of the same as Ragnarok for Baldir for the Norse, where it's like all or nothing. We're going to sacrifice all of our town centers. Now, if you have the resources to quickly build them all, say you had 2 or 3 of them, you could flip them back immediately with all the nearby units, but they are nearby villagers. But the idea is that it's like a big sacrifice to revive the last 100 fallen units, not your units, not just your enemy units, all units, and they all come up, and it's like a big attack. It reminds me very much as more of a safer Ragnarok. Ragnarok, you sacrifice all of your gatherers and dwarves, and it's kind of scary. It's a little scary. It's all or nothing at that point. The mythic unit that goes along with Persephone is a siren, which can lure enemy troops with their haunting song, pulling them away from safety, which it sounds like it's going to be something that is used on critical units. Say, for example, if you're playing against a Greek, I wonder if you can use that song to pull them out while you have other myth units doing the dirty work, doing all the work on the back end. That would be really strategic. Or to use it on another myth unit, like one of their more powerful myth units, say like an Oni warlord, and just pull him away. Bam. You can't do anything because now he's basically stunned. All in all, I like the idea of this god pack. I like the direction that they plan on going with it. I like that they're giving the Greeks a little bit more flexibility. I'd love to see it with the Egyptians, the Atlanteans, and all that, which I think they eventually will, but this is great. Also, as a minor note, they are doing the Silent Sanctuary, which is a mythical battle. Looks like it's voice acted by Chiron and Orpheus. So Chiron, the absolute OG, the strongest of the heroes of the Greeks, let's be serious. And it kind of covers a little bit of Demeter and all that. It's like a little campaign that goes along with it. So that's going to be great. That's going to be fun. I am excited about all of this. I think that this is a great direction, great play. You'll love to see it. Are you guys excited about it? Tell me down in the comment section down below. If you guys want to see some of the things that I wish I learned sooner playing Age of Mythology, you can click this video here. Otherwise, stay caffeinated, folks.